Hey everybody, how's it going today? It is a beautiful Friday, the Friday before Christmas. Yeah, it's finally here. So excited for Christmas this year. Not really. I mean, I am this is the only reason why I'm excited for Christmas this year. It's because we get to start the new year. That's really the only reason. And besides that being Jesus's birthday, that's of course that's amazing, but like this Christmas season is probably, I'm not going to say the worst Christmas I've had in a super long time because, well, a lot of you don't know, I did some federal prison time. So I don't, it can't be worse than any of those, right? Right. So, but it's a beautiful Christmas is that I'm living within my means and I'm learning to do that. And that's something that I'm just not used to. So it's been a lesson. It's been a lesson. And then now this whole YouTube getting monetized thing is now a new lesson of just being patient and making sure I'm doing things thoroughly and that I'm creating enough value to you guys with the content, because this is a strange niche, right? Because we screen record court hearings and then we replay them. Well, we replay them for educational, yeah. And then, because the shit's funny. There's a lot of really funny stuff. But if we're just replaying them of what's already been played, we're not doing a lot of creating. So to get monetized, it's been difficult. Like I'm just trying to monetize for super chats, and it's been difficult. And I accidentally deleted my YouTube account yesterday, and I had a meltdown. And I was saved from that, and thank God, because there's kind of an undo thing in your Google settings with the profile that you've created it with. And thank God for that, or else I didn't know if I was going to redo it all over again, because that's where I was at. I was like, am I going to redo this? Because I can't just upload all the videos I have, because those are old. Everyone's already watched them. So I'm not going to get a lot of views from that. So I didn't know what to do. I had a meltdown, but I'm better now, because everything's back up to normal, except for I don't know why I didn't get monetized. I was rejected for program policies. And if there's any other creators out there that could help me with that, I would appreciate that. At step 2, I got rejected. It's whatever, my day job is going to pick up soon here in a few weeks. So I don't know how much attention I'm going to be able to give to my YouTube channel. Not like I have been able to, well, except for the past few weeks, because I had to do a road trip to the other side of the state, Billings. I'm in Whitefish now, Montana. But yeah, I had to go to Billings to do some tattoos. But I don't know. It's a crazy thing with getting monetized and trying to create content in this niche that has value. I think what I'm gonna have to do is just do lives every time, and I'm down with that. I'm down to do a live every night. That would be cool, and so then I can build the community I want. Like there's other law tube creators out there that I love. Law Talk with Mike, Time Served, and I'm part of those communities. But I want a community. I want my own community, because I have a lot to say coming from the bad guy side. Well, not the bad guy, but I was a bad guy. I was a good guy who used to make bad decisions and who did a lot of bad guy stuff, and ended up doing a crap ton of federal prison time, where I ended up all over the country. But anyway, I got a couple good videos for you. I know some that have already been seen, and I didn't get a chance to show them yesterday because I was dealing with the monetization, and I deleted my account, and I wasn't able to do them. So I hope I'm not a little bit late, but I definitely want to laugh at that dude in DeSanto's court. You know, what's his name? Brownlee. That dude Brownlee, and then I did have the Ruckles pulled up, who's like this unemployed cat. And his wife, and they were high and drunk in court. But I seen that Philip at Time Served did something on that. And I know he likes to call us all hacks if we post the same hearings, or if we don't have a lot of commentary for it. So all I want to do is laugh at it and laugh with you guys at them. There isn't much more to say about it, but I'm not going to do that one. I do have a Judge Bryant clip that I want to share that I found in my to be uploaded folder. So it's a little bit old, so maybe it'll be new again. I don't know, but I know it's funny, and I know she always provides great content because she's a beast. She's a beast, man. She doesn't let those fools get away with anything, you know? So, yeah, it's pretty good. So I don't know. I'll be popping in, saying some things here and there as we go. And, yeah, we'll just get it going.
What'd you say?
So I've been waiting for an hour, miss. I got screenshots.
First of all, my name is not Miss. I apologize. My name is not Miss.
Starts right off, yeah.
Now, if you're going to address me, you can call me Judge. You probably can call me ma'am. You definitely can call me Your Honor. But
I'm sorry, Judge.
But I'm not Miss. I'm not Miss. Number one, I'm not Miss. So number two, as I indicated, we have brought your device into this Zoom room at least 3 times. And on each occasion, when I shared my screen like this, your device did not connect. And then I put you back in the waiting room several times. Your lawyer has already been here. I have gone to a breakout room with your lawyer and the prosecutor. We have discussed your case on the record. Why would we do that and just leave you waiting in the waiting room? We would not. So hold on while I try to get that other prosecutor back, and then we can tell you what's going to happen with your case. Were you able to reach Miss Cole? Because I don't know why she lied.
She didn't answer for me. I left a message and I can email.
No, call her back. I need her back. I need.
This guy's a clown. He's just
I mean, can you stop stretching and yawning on the screen? My goodness.
maybe not. Maybe she's
We're
just
in court.
beep.
Madam Clerk, do I have paperwork from Mr. Waldrop?
Holy D.
Check your email, Your Honor.
All right. And can you call Mr. Toussaint, find out what's his situation? Because he got disconnected in the breakout room and he hasn't logged back in.
Okay.
Crickets. I hate dead air. Oh man, I hate dead air. I think that comes from my days in doing sound.
All right, then I'm ready on Waldrop.
Way back.
This is case number.
I'm gonna adjust this camera. There we go. Read the case. Jeez.
224577401, the people of the state of Michigan versus Deshaun Waldrop. The defendant is charged with 1 count of assault or assault and battery, 1 count. Hold on. Hold on.
Dude, I almost want to fast forward it.
Excuse me. Somebody tell me what happened to count 3.
She's like, this fool ain't getting off.
Somebody? Anybody? Can somebody tell me what's going on with count 3? Does count 3 still exist?
Checking, Judge.
Okay.
She's gonna get on by him shaking his head. I know it's ugly. I just can't quit. It's like crack. It's so good. I can't quit. I never smoked crack, but that's what they say. It's so good.
Judge, for the misdemeanor, I only see 1 count.
No, I'm not talking about, I'm looking at, I'm looking at this tether unit violation. That's all I have.
Oh, okay.
1, assault or assault and battery. Count 2, malicious destruction of property. Count 3, home invasion, 2nd degree. Something,
Okay.
there had to be a felony somewhere. And then
But I don't have a copy of the tether report.
Neither do I, Your Honor.
oh, Madam Clerk, can you please send the tether report to the attorneys, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it says a copy of this report was sent to Judge Mark Slavens and Judge William McConaughey. Judge Bryant's name is nowhere on this paper. So what are you pulling up? You saying you only see 1 count?
I see a misdemeanor case number 2204-57-7401, which is a pretrial before this court on look at it again.
So maybe the felony is case number 19008169001. And then he also has case number 224454501.
And there's a 22060. Yeah, I would need the tether report so I can see what he does have a tether on the misdemeanor case that I just cited, Your Honor.
But he also had, so now that I'm reading down in the 2nd paragraph, appearances, please.
For the record, Your Honor, Christina Ritter on behalf of the people.
Cammy appearing on behalf of Deshaun Waldrop, who consents to my appearance on his behalf. Is that correct, Mr. Waldrop?
Unmute yourself, please.
He's scared to. You yell at him.
Yes.
And could you please state your full name for the record, please?
Deshaun Waldrop.
All right, so Mr. Waldrop is before the court on the tether violation. Can somebody please look up case number 1900816? Now that might be already across the street.
Yeah, it's across the street.
No, Mr. Waldrop, don't, no.
So I have that case pulled up, Judge.
And is there a tether on that case?
So it looks like the home invasion second degree was dismissed by the court. And the only count that I see that Mr. Walter pled to was.
So why is his case across the street with Judge Slavin?
He's on probation on that felony case, Judge.
I need the deputy. So if he's on probation to Judge Slavin, why would they send Judge Slavin a copy of this report unless Mr. Waldrop was on a tether to Judge Slavin? And if he's on a tether to Judge Slavin, I'm not addressing this tether.
Your
Yeah.
Honor, Janice Stevenson, also on behalf of Mr. Waldrop, and Your Honor, we don't believe this matter is properly before this court, and that the case number that's referenced is not the case number. Is not a misdemeanor case number, Your Honor.
Yeah, there's 3 case numbers on here. Now, 2 of them are misdemeanors. But there's no way I'm going to address a tether if he also has a tether on the felony. So I need the deputy. I need you to stop being dramatic. I need you to stop doing all the stuff you're doing. And I need you to ask the deputy to come to the screen, please.
Oh, okay.
You see something different, Ms. Stevenson?
Only in that paragraph that starts with, on June 21st, the subject was enrolled in the Wayne County Sheriff's Tether Program for those
It
2
does say
misdemeanor
He's
cases.
incarcerated, but then it says the subject also has out of third circuit, blah, blah, blah. He was explained to an agree. Deputy,
Yes, Your Honor.
I need a clear understanding of whether Mr. Waldrop has a tether condition on his felony case. On his felony case. He has, this report lists 3 cases, and I need to know if there is a tether condition on the felony case.
Look, I don't know if I'm going to play the rest of this. I'm kind of bored with it right now. I don't know if it's because I have ants in my pants or I don't know what it is, but I feel like people are just going to be like dropping off like flies. So I'm going to go to Judge Stevens for a quick one, and I'm gonna have to fast forward it and flow. Actually, no. Let's go to DeSanto. We'll play a DeSanto clip, and this was the other day. I did upload this without any commentary the other day, and then we have the update for it. I mean, and technically this is like part 5, but just for the recent
this court to be harassing me to this level when I've explained my indigence. I'm showing up for court. I'm being as respectful as possible and answering all of your questions where you're countering me at every turn. I'm not doing anything wrong, but being present for this pretrial operation so that I can try to move forward through this case. I have no other means there.
I mean, it's my clip. I just don't know.
Sir, let me clarify something for you. Your thought process that this is not fair of myself to require you to be in person is flawed. Because
And I
this
put it like
court
that so it would be
has
zoomed in.
absolutely every right
Because
to
I love
require
her
your
facial
presence
expression.
to be in person.
And I respect that, but when
Please
I'm
don't
under
interrupt
supervision
me.
from a bonding service
Please
and they tell me I'm supposed to be here over Zoom and I have everything set up that way.
I said, please don't interrupt me. So I'll just mute you. How about that?
How about that? And that was my thumbnail. Oh, I did upload it. Yeah, because I put, how about that? Sure did say it. She's with kids. I think she has a 14-year-old daughter. Actually, I know she does.
And you're home?
I am, yes, ma'am. I posted bond.
She just thinks he's lying.
Why are you on Zoom?
My paperwork for my my bond said to do this appointment over Zoom.
If you were in person, or if you were still in custody, sir, you need to make your way into the courthouse.
I don't have that capability at the moment. My bond agent told me to report for Zoom for this morning for court.
File, please.
Your bond agent will always tell you to show up for court. Now, I know things are different with Zoom, but if he's not sure, he will always tell you, check with your lawyer or check with the clerk.
The Zoom ID, sir, was in the event you were in custody.
Oh,
if you were not in custody, you were to appear in person.
He will always tell you that.
If I'm posted bond, does that mean I'm not in custody?
Well, sir, you're out of the Wayne County Jail, correct?
Correct.
Yes, please subscribe.
But I just don't understand why my bond agent had told me.
I'm sorry?
I just don't understand then why my bond company told me to report over Zoom for this meeting.
I don't know why your bond. So you had a bail bondsman post your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I don't know why they told you that. So, because it shows, and I'll show you, it does show on Zoom, but that was in the event you were in custody, sir. So you need to make your way.
And for real, I'm surprised that she didn't call the bond agent to see if he said that, because she's kind of a stickler on that. She'll make people, like she just made that dude the other day, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, and I have it to show also, is the dude who said he had to rinse his mouth out with alcohol mouthwash because he had a big hole in his tooth. Well, she's like, okay, well, we'll just go into recess and you will get a hold of your dentist and he will fax over proof that he told you that you needed to do that or whatever. And they did. And him and his lawyer came back at the end of the docket, and I didn't watch the end. I have it recorded though, and I thought I would just watch it with you guys, but I don't know. It's one of those things. Maybe she believes he did say that, and this idiot listened to it. Maybe him and his bot nature are both idiots. That's probably the case. She probably believes that that's what happened, and it's probably what happened. Okay, I talked myself into the complete circle of that.
Here in the court
scenario.
I don't think I would make. I'm in a motel in Romulus, Michigan, and near the airport. I don't think I would make it in time by walking. With all due respect.
Well, sir, then you need to find a ride.
Ma'am, could you make any condolences and accept the fact that I am here for court today for my Zoom meeting, and this is my only method for court today.
Sir, you can contact an Uber. You can ask somebody for a ride, something of that nature.
I don't have that money at the moment. I'm
Take your glasses off.
Really.
She's getting upset. studied her.
Sir, your court date is in person today.
Not in a creepy way.
There's nothing more I can do. Except
Well, you can start making your way to court.
That's a great answer, though.
I'm telling you, the amount of distance that it would take me to walk there, I wouldn't even be able to make there until 7 or 8 p.m.
It's a great answer.
I'm over 20 miles away.
Just kept it real.
Romulus is not 20 miles away, sir.
And she's about to keep it more real.
You're not 20 miles away.
Ma'am, I do not wish to argue with you. I am about 20 miles away over on Merriman and Middlebelt.
Well, those two streets run the same way, sir.
I'm at the Wyndham Gardens Hotel on Merriman. That is where I'm at. That's where I'm located, and that is where I have no other option but to do this meeting via Zoom. I don't have any family members or friends that can help me out today. I was instructed to do this court date today at this time on Zoom, and I am here presenting myself in a reasonable manner. Can we please proceed?
I can't believe she. Well, I guess
You're 14 miles away, sir. Not 20. So the court's instructions were in person. Unless you're in custody, it's in person.
dude, who fixes up their?
Can't take a cab, can't take a bus, nothing.
I have no money whatsoever at all. None.
And how are you paying for your hotel stay, sir?
My family had paid for a week's stay for me, and they're paying week to week. I haven't even eaten in 3 days. I've been barely surviving, but I had to make sure that this appointment was done, and I showed up to the best of my ability, and here I am here. I'm even borrowing a phone from a stranger to operate this court date right now.
Okay, sir. The stranger has allowed you to take their phone into a hotel room. And you can't get somebody to drop you off to court.
No, ma'am, I can't. My only family are my mom and my dad, and they're in their 80s, and my mother's in the hospital, and I can't get a hold of my father. My only other social support team are currently incarcerated, Your Honor. I'm just doing my best to survive and get through this.
His little girlfriends. Well, they're not little; they're big girlfriends. But yeah, they're in jail.
And like I said, I was told by Bail My Tail Services, which is the bonding agency that I went through, that I am to report for court today over Zoom, and they gave me the Zoom ID and the time to be here and present. And I am currently present.
So your family members pay for you to stay at the hotel, but they won't pay for your ride to court.
And again,
they gave me the basic necessities. Yes, I'm very lucky to have that. Okay, at 83 years old, United States Marine and his dying wife. Yes, I'm very fortunate to.
I know I spelled steal wrong, but that's not why I stopped it. Like, dude, just to try to, and that is stealing valor from one of our servicemen who happens to be his dad, because he's trying to use it in court to gain sympathy or to gain some kind of favor by saying that his dad was a Marine. My dad was a Marine, and I never would have brought that up in court. My dad fought in Vietnam, and I just never would have brought that up for anything. Hey, my dad's a Marine, fought in Vietnam. You need to give me a break here. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of shitty of him to do. And I never really loved the guy. But after that, I was just like, dude, I hate this dude. In a weird way. I don't ever hate anybody, but I just hate the things he says and the way he says it. And just his whole get down is just he tries to use big words and he doesn't use the right words and the right things. I know I just spelled steal wrong, but who's the idiot? But you know, do you know what I mean? It's just, we all feel it. We all know someone like that. I mean, I don't know anyone like that now, I guess, but you know, we've all known someone like that from our past. So I don't know. I just thought,
Please have that temporarily, and that was as best as I could do. Yes. I've already called my dad twice today. If you'd like, I can show for a reverse the camera somehow, or take a screenshot and show you proof that I have made attempts to call my father this morning where I was not able to get a hold of him.
And so the stranger's phone that you're supposedly using, that person just let you bring their phone right on into your room.
The clerk for the motel is a very nice lady who I have to see every day. I explained to her my situation, and I said that I'm going to be in the room for about 45 minutes to an hour. I asked her, if I could at some point give her money for it, and she said that's not necessary. She goes, just handle your business and just bring it right back when you're done.
Sir, try contacting one of your family members to see if they'll order you an Uber to make your way into court.
I already have, and they don't have the money. They didn't even have the money to give me a $5 hot and ready last night when I asked them. I'm not, and this is really unfair of you, because I'm being as professional and respectful as possible in this manner. I'm telling you, I can't squeeze water from a rock. I'm here for court. I'm doing everything I said that I was going to be doing.
Did you say that that's not fair of the court to require you to be in person?
No, it's not fair of you and of this court to be harassing me to this level when I've explained my indigence. I'm showing up for court. I'm being as respectful as possible and answering all of your questions where you're countering me at every turn. I'm not doing anything wrong, but being present for this pretrial operation so that I can try to move forward through this case. I have no other means there.
So let me clarify something for you. Your thought process that this is not fair of myself to require you to be in person is flawed, because this court has absolutely every right to require your presence to be in person.
And I respect that, but when I'm under supervision from a bonding service and they tell me I'm supposed to be here over Zoom and I have everything set up that way.
I said, please don't interrupt me, so I'll just mute you. How about that?
How about that?
I ordered you to be in person. So for you to stay,
going on.
I don't know what you're saying, sir, because I'm talking and you're trying to talk over me.
I bet you whatever you're saying is bullshit. I bet you that.
I don't know who you're claiming that you spoke to, because you said your mom's in the hospital and your dad didn't answer. So I don't know who you tried getting a ride from. Perhaps a nice clerk lady can find a ride for you.
Clerk lady. Look at this. So that's that.
Might want to make another couple phone calls, sir. To see
And then
about,
so we have an update.
Into court.
We have an update from that, and that's why I showed that. So here's the update.
Have a good day. All right, thank you, Mr. Leno.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, you as well. And we are on the record in the matter of the city.
And it's funny when I was recording and like kind of watching at the same time. No. I recorded it and then I was watching it, and when I seen old boy come into the Sally Port or whatever that is that they do their little court from the jail, I was like, dang man, I know that fool. Where have I seen that guy before? And I was like, man, no, that's not him, because he kind of looks taller for some reason to me. I just thought he was like a little short dude. And I was like, man, is that Brownlee? And I was like, oh shit, yeah, he's in jail. Of course he's in jail. He never showed up for court. It would have been so easy for him just to figure that out and show up before the end of the docket and not go to jail. But you know, when you're getting high, and I know he's getting high. When you're getting high and you know, trying to avoid POs in court and this and that and be manipulative, you don't do what's easy. You make everything harder for yourself and for everyone else around you, your family. You make everything harder for them because all you care about is getting high and just that instant gratification. And so, yeah, they don't think straight. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. There we go.
So the line number is David Brownlee, 232465A and B. And Mr. Goldbaum? You're muted.
Thank you, Adam. John Goldbaum, P30758 on behalf of Mr. Brownlee.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Brownlee, your name for the record, please.
Good afternoon. My name is David William Brownlee.
Okay, and so today is the date that we have Mr. Brownlee before the court. The court is going to make a record that on December 12th, defendant zoomed in. Actually, on November 30th, Mr. Brownlee was arraigned. This court issued a $15,000 10% bond, and there was a surety bond posted, and it showed a Zoom ID. So Mr. Brownlee zoomed in from what he claimed was a hotel room at the Wyndham Garden in Romulus. This court advised Mr. Brownlee he was to appear in person.
His lawyer's at like some downtown
court,
hotel.
Ordered Mr. Brownlee to appear in person, and
60-ounce
the
steak.
court, as of 4:30 p.m., defendant had not appeared.
Zooming in for court.
And due to Mr.
Some, like,
Brownlee's criminal history as
hotel
well as danger
restaurant.
to the community, the court issued
Some
a
like
warrant immediately.
he's actually, probably looks like he's at the
The
bar.
case had not been called on the record.
Restaurant. At the hotel.
And-
He probably already had a few martinis. Okay,
Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, if the court may recall, I was present in court on other matters that afternoon.
my bad. I talked through that whole thing. My
Ordered
bad.
Mr. Brownlee to appear in person, and the court, as of 4:30 p.m., defendant had not appeared. And due to Mr. Brownlee's criminal history as well as his danger to the community, the court issued a warrant immediately. The case had not been called on the record, and counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, if the court may recall, I was present in court on other matters that afternoon. I've spoken to Mr. Brownlee. I see that a warrant was issued and the bond was set at $25,000, 10%. And he was picked up, I guess, by the Brownstown or some other police department. Your Honor, I've spoken to Mr. Brownlee. He indicates obviously that this was a problem that he created. However, those problems were, and it was not an attempt to affront the court. We're asking that the original bond of 10%, the original bond of $15,000, 10% or the bond be reinstated and he be allowed to appear at another pretrial. Of course, this would be in person. Is that correct, Mr. Brownlee?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, well, Mr. Goldpaw, what you may or may not be aware of is Mr. Brownlee has a matter in the 25th District Court to which Judge Clifton had to recuse himself. The court was disqualified because of the named victim, that there was a conflict with the named victim. So that matter got reassigned to this court. So the very next day after December 12th, this court sat at the 25th District Court for Mr. Brownlee's case there. That was in person, never a question as to whether that was a Zoom or not, and he didn't show up for that one either. And so I had to sit for a case in Southgate today, and then Mr. Brownlee appeared on Zoom over there for an arraignment on this matter from the 25th District Court because Mr. Holmberg was already over there as the MIDC attorney. Now, Mr. Brownlee, where was it that you were at on December 20th when you zoomed in?
When I zoomed in for court, ma'am, I was at the Wyndham Gardens Hotel in Romulus, Michigan.
Your Honor, Mr. Bromley, Your Honor, did you say the 20th or did you mean the 12th?
I'm sorry, the 12th. The 12th.
Thank you.
And that was my last day at that motel. After that, I was homeless for 2 days, and then finally I was able to reach out to my family and just beg them for help.
Okay, sir, let me be very clear to you. Let me be very clear. You may think I might be naive, an idiot, I don't know. But I'm very well aware that the Wyndham Garden does not have ceiling fans, nor do they have dark brown ceiling fans, nor do they have anything that is on the walls as such that you had on the walls in your background on that day.
I'm doing some recording for my appeal letter to show them that I do create and that I do have like stuff. So that's why I was taking a weirdo video. No, I'm not being too weird.
Let's be real. And where were you, sir?
I'm being honest with you. I don't know why you're making me or trying to make me think that I want you to think that you're naive or anything along those lines. I think of nothing but respect for you. And I'm being honest. To be completely fair with you today, I honestly wanted just to retract my not guilty plea, have a one-on-one negotiation with you just so we can get a global resolution in this case. And then that way, you know what I'm saying, it makes the court's life and my life easier for me to move on and try to become a better person when I get out of jail. Knowing that I have another court case pending that will have restitution enabled. I understand that you don't like sentencing without an updated PSI. Although I wish for you to understand that if you would be willing to just accept my guilty plea for the driving while license suspended, loitering, and for the paraphernalia, I'm not asking anything from you except for just for you to impose your disposition so that we can get this case cleared. Is leaving just the last to go.
Sir, let me be very clear. Perhaps to your surprise, perhaps not, I don't know, but I contacted the Wyndham Garden Hotel because I wanted to confirm if in fact you were there. They would not confirm if you were there or not, but then I went one step further and asked if any of the rooms have ceiling fans. And the lady laughed at me and said, absolutely not. So you were not there. You were not at the Wyndham Garden in Romulus. So where were you? You want this court to believe you for credibility purposes when I'm assessing bond. Where were you?
I was at that building. There's two sets of hotels within the same parking structure. They just bought out the new one. I had gotten a week's stay, and the one over while they're renovating that's half done, that's the one I got. And I got a good rate on it for only $250 a month or $250 a week. I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. My grandfather
$250 for the week at the Wyndham Garden.
Yes, when normally we were paying $325, and that was the best rate we were getting on Priceline.com. I'm telling you that I'm not lying to you. I have no reason to lie and specify a certain place that I wasn't at. I'm being honest with you. I'm 100 with you. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not trying to avert anything more with you. I really honestly wish you could allow me to, accept my guilty plea today so that we can just get started over with. I am clean. I'm not doing any drugs. I want to get my life in order. I want to eventually get out of this situation so I go back to work, try to help the girls pay the property taxes so we can at least get back into the home somehow. I mean, I gotta do something responsible. To me, just accepting guilt and taking accountability today to you, that's the best I can do.
And start working. Start
Would you be willing to
tweaking.
accept that? Because I was driving while my license was suspended knowingly. I did have a chore boy, which was a part of a crack pipe in my person. And I was around somebody who did have drugs on them. Nobody made any promises or threats for me to make this today. This is honestly like the best I can to stand up and be an adult and take accountability for my actions. Please let me.
Yes, Your Honor. If the court wishes to have the plea withdrawn, allow him to enter that plea. I have not discussed this with him. I'm here only for his bond issue, but obviously, at this point, he can, I guess, do what he wishes with respect to that. If the court wishes to, he obviously knows all of his responsibilities. He also knows the consequences. And there's always the possibility that you may send him to jail for those violations. I don't think that I have the ability or even the authority, I'm using that word, to say he can't enter into a plea.
Okay, Mr. Brownlee, you'd like to enter into a plea. On all these matters, you want to enter into a plea of guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, raise your right hand.
Yes, he has his hand up before she says
anything. About to give this man to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do, Your Honor.
That's pretty dope. He was like, yes, ma'am, I'm ready. He's done it a million times, so he already knew what was coming.
All right, would you like an opportunity to speak to your attorney further?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, as to count.
Hey, he's
A,
drunk. My
license,
attorney's
driving
drunk.
while unlicensed, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
As to count B, possession of drug paraphernalia, how do you plead?
Guilty as charged, Your Honor.
As to loading of drugs or illegally kept, stored, or used, how do you plead?
Guilty as charged, Your Honor.
And you've gone over your advice of rights with your attorney, correct?
I have.
You understand that you have the right to have a trial in this matter by entering into a plea, you will not have that trial.
I do.
You also understand that you have the right to have this matter set for a pre-trial, sir. We don't have to enter into a plea today.
I do.
And you also understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea, whether in this court, any other court, or administrative agency.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And knowing all that, you want to continue with your plea.
Correct. Nobody made me make any threats or promises for me to make this plea. It was 100% willing of my own volitions.
Okay, and there aren't any immigration issues I recall from the last time. And okay, and so you're making this plea knowingly, voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Mr.
No,
Goldwall, would you like me to
No,
body your claim?
I was provided, Your Honor, I didn't mean to cut the court off. I was provided with a registration action, so I have the registration, so I know the dates.
Okay.
Mr. Brownlee, on 11/30/23, were you driving without a valid driver's license? That was suspended.
I was.
And on the same date and time, were you in the possession of drug paraphernalia?
Yes, sir.
And what was that drug paraphernalia?
It was a screen for a crack cocaine pipe.
Thank you. And were you loitering in a place where drugs were kept?
I was.
And you were aware that those drugs were being kept there and you nevertheless loitered in that location. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Thank you. Defense satisfied, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor. And while you were driving without a license, you knew you did not have a driver's license. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Defense is satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, the court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea on all counts. And counsel, are you asking for immediate sentencing or would you like me to schedule this for sentencing?
Well, Your Honor,
I would like
guess,
immediate sentencing, Your Honor.
there you go, Your Honor. He would like immediate sentencing. And the court is obviously aware of the
Absolutely.
circumstances, having reviewed all these matters.
Okay, what the court is also aware of is that Mr. Brownlee had been sentenced in this court to jail time for his possession resisting and obstructing an officer matter. It looks as though the possession was
I have a feeling this guy's got like just a 90 felonies and misdemeanors.
and he was released from jail. If I recall correctly, it was about 5 to 7 days before this incident on November 30th. Would that be correct, sir?
It is, Your Honor. I'm at your disposal 100% for whatever you feel is fair and fit for me to get to the next step for myself.
Okay. And then Mr. Brownlee is.
Yeah, man. I wanted to play these. I'm responding to one of the chats. I was gonna play these the other day, but I was working on getting the channel monetized, and I deleted my channel accidentally and had to get it back. And man, I know I hate being late with this stuff because then I feel like I'm just, late and just being a hack and replaying stuff that everyone else has already played. And it just, yeah, man, it does suck. It totally does. But I got it together, and thankfully I saved the account. But I'm just really having a hard time getting it monetized. I think they're cracking down on reused content and us using stuff from the courts, even though there's that fair use thing. I think they just want us to make sure and provide make it more valuable to the audience. And I totally agree with that. So it just is going to keep me on my toes a little bit. Heck yeah. Well, I totally appreciate you stopping by. Yes, I definitely am going to do that. I just I'm having a hard time with because I'm just at the 500 subscriber mark. Well, I have 777 now, but so I just want to do super chats, and like I'm not trying to get rich off my channel. I just tattooing is slow, so I did this for fun because I'm obsessed with the stuff. But it's a lot of work, man, trying to record everybody with just the few devices I have, a couple iPads, a laptop, and my phone. But I have to put my phone on do not disturb because then it all these notifications come through, and then my wife gets mad because she can't get a hold of me. And yeah, so it's a lot. I mean, yeah, these are, first world problems, and I'm grateful for even having these problems. So I'm definitely not complaining that way. Just trying to make a little extra money and have fun doing it.
Arrested, and again with drug paraphernalia, and with two of the 3 individuals he was with were also with him at the last time that he had his matter with the possession and the resisting and obstructing. And so based upon that recent conviction and jail time, and as well as Mr. Brownlee's criminal history, this court is going to sentence Mr. Brownlee to 93 days jail, which is the maximum that this court can sentence him to.
May I receive the credit from the the 30th to the point in time that I had bonded out.
We would be asking for that, Your Honor. Credit for that time served that he's been incarcerated.
He's had at least 3 martinis, I
You
promise.
get credit for 6 days, sir.
That is a hotel bar downtown,
Yes,
some
ma'am.
little podunk town somewhere.
And Your Honor, those are 93 days on each matter to run concurrent.
$93 days each count.
Say consecutive. That'd be great. She won't.
Court will order that it's concurrent.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Yeah. Oh, you do? Oh, that's classic. Yeah, he's already
May I
had
ask
it.
one more question, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way that you would make
I'm sorry, I lost him there, Your Honor.
I have no idea where, okay, hold on, he's back through here.
happen on our end?
Okay, I'm sorry, what was that, sir?
Okay, my question was for you, is there any way that you'd be able to extend yourself in terms for, would you allow a monetary exchange for the days that I would have to serve? Maybe half, where I would maybe get 45 days reduced if I would be willing to or able to pay $500? Something to.
So that's funny that he would ask her that, because not in a million years would she ever do that, because you're just like trying to buy your way out of jail time. But I get where he's getting that from, because if he had a bunch of fines, then you can pay those off by staying in jail. But that's not what this is. He's getting sentenced time and fines. But I think she doesn't give him any fines. But that's why he thinks that. But he's so delusional that's that's not going to happen. Not in a million years. So it's pretty funny. And look at his face. It's like, what? I have to ask. It ain't going to hurt, right? I'm not going to get more time for asking.
That effect?
Absolutely not, sir. We're not bartering. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely
he
not.
will.
Yes, ma'am.
Perhaps you may want to ask
because
for
he's in jail, he
treatment
doesn't
while
need
you're
it.
in custody.
I think
Because you
will.
weren't even out a week and you have the same type of offense. So no, there's no bartering. There's no money in exchange for not going to jail. No. And in fact, the court's suspending your fines and costs, so you don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah, how about
I
that?
understand. It was just a simple question. I did not mean to disrespect you.
No disrespect. Not taken.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right. Have a good day. Off the record.
And Your Honor, as I said earlier,
Oh, shit. What did he say?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you after the
Oh, yeah,
first
he's
of the
trying.
year, unless I get another.
He's
Hold on,
trying.
I thought you're back tomorrow.
No, I'm not there tomorrow, Your Honor.
Well, return our computer mouse, please, before you go anywhere else.
I know. I will make sure that it
Yeah,
gets
bring back our
delivered.
mouse, you drunk.
Sorry about that.
No.
I packed 2 mouses.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
But she's
Right.
looking at him like, that's poor guy. She knows he's trash. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah, so I'm late, but I'll try not to be late with it. And I'm gonna start doing lives every day. I think that way I can try to get this monetization thing going. But I do have some more. I'm not gonna go back to that Judge Bryant clip.
Hello, are you Karina? Matt.
I got
And,
that, but I don't want to-
okay, in this case,
Or do I? No, let's show her.
this is a very serious case, and
We'll play this one, but it's to get to the next
you were
one.
charged in cause number 23 CR971 with the first degree felony aggravated robbery, which carries with it up to life in prison. if you're convicted.
I think that's a great idea,
Okay.
and I do.
I gave you some time
but she doesn't
to
do stuff.
back, well,
She
about
does the action stuff. I think
5
her
or
name's
6
Mandy.
weeks ago to go hire a lawyer. I
I
thought
think I
you
will
were,
try to do that.
that's what you intended to do.
I would love to do something with Law Talk with Mike if he'd have me. Oh man, that'd be amazing. He's the one I started watching first. He only had like 40,000 subscribers, or maybe even less than that, 25,000 subscribers when I started watching him, and now he's got what, like over 180,000 subscribers. And like I'm always like on his chats when he has like questions, he has like funny questions that we all know, but because he's like an isolated lawyer in civil that he doesn't know like the answers to, and like I always have those answers. So that was like, wait a minute, why don't I do my own? And then I can comment on those things that he misses. So that was kind of like part of my reasoning for doing that, aside from being slow. And the tattooing is slow.
But how did all that work out?
So I run out of papers.
So you had to speak out.
I said I run out of papers. I was looking for a job. I just recently kind of found, but I can't.
Do you even are you employed?
No.
Well, you can't afford to hire a lawyer for this. This is expensive.
Yeah, that's right.
So fill out an indigent form, and then you're going to appoint a lawyer. We need to move. We're going to move forward on this. But fill that out. When you are completed, you will swear in front of the notary, my court clerk here, and then you.
So I am on Discord, and I am on his server. Discord is really confusing to me. And I'm pretty tech savvy. I used to work for Microsoft as a systems engineer, but for some reason I just can't grasp Discord. It was the same thing with Snapchat, and I don't know if it's just because I'm old now, or what it is. I just I get Snapchat now, but Discord was rough for me. And I think I need to spend some more time on it and really get it figured out. But I think you're right. I think that's definitely what I need to do, is get on there and
then an attorney will be appointed to represent you. Jennifer Windling.
Mingle a little bit. Mingle with
here.
Other creators.
Got all of them.
So he has the other two, correct?
They're both online.
And you are, Mr. West is your attorney, correct?
Yes, that's.
Okay. I think he's on his way.
Okay.
All right, stand by.
Oh, I want to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. You can sit down. Yeah, I just. Todd, are y'all ready? Todd, are y'all ready?
It's Corey.
Yeah, come on up. Jordan Savoy, that's you, sir? Come on up.
Yeah, this is the one I wanted to play. Yeah, I have a whole playlist of Stevens on my channel. He was born to be a judge, hands down.
This post-sentence report was prepared, it states by Candy Banks, but are you here for the probation
I've
officer?
been assigned Mr. Savoy's case.
Okay.
Ms. Banks did complete the.
She prepared it, and you were going to be the probation officer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You may sit down. No one stands behind the bar. Thank you. Oh, she's with you? Okay, good. Yeah. No, except court personnel, I guess they can stand, but they have to. That's part of their duties. In 22-41241, Mr. Savoy, you, just briefly on a history for the record. You were indicted on December 14th, once a year ago, in 2022 for the second-degree felony of robbery. This is an event that occurred at Westbrook High School here in Beaumont, Texas, part of the Beaumont Independent School District's schools. And as this case worked its way through the system, it was reduced, or you pleaded guilty with an agreement from the state for a Class A misdemeanor of the lesser included offense of assault. Now, you were not 17 at the time of the event, but you classified as a juvenile. However, because of the serious nature of the case, you were transferred to adult status, treated as an adult, even though you have alleged to have been committed the crime while you were not yet an adult. And so under the law, when that hearing is held and that court official deems that it is appropriate under the law to treat you for all purposes as though you were an adult for this crime, then that's what happens. You were treated as an adult rather in the juvenile delinquency program. So now you are 17, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what happened in this case is that last month, this case was on this court's docket, and the agreement was that you would be placed on probation. And the court did not have a pre-sentence report to work with, but under the circumstances that I was made aware of by the attorneys here, this case I felt like was most likely a case that probation would be the best interests of all concerned. But conditions of probation, this court wasn't certain of until a post-sentence report was prepared by the probation office, like we normally have before us when we place somebody on probation. This court did feel like under the serious nature of this case, and if it was going to proceed in the way of probation, the wisest thing to do was to move forward, place the defendant on probation, get him under supervision, and then come back later today for a review of the report and what other terms and conditions of probation are appropriate under these circumstances. Now, the probation office has prepared, and you are here with Mr. LeBlanc, your attorney, and the state's attorney, and probation official. Ms. LeBlanc is one of our senior supervising probation officers is here. Have the parties had an opportunity to review this post-sentence report, and are there any changes or comments anyone wants to make to it? State.
I have not seen it, Your Honor. I've had to have a brief glance at the defense attorney real quick. I don't think there's any changes from what I know.
While he's reviewing that, Mr. LeBlanc, any changes you see?
Judge, I have reviewed it. I don't see anything that needs to check, any changes or objections to the judge.
I don't see any changes. Just we have no objection.
All right, without objection, then it's going to be made a part of the record in this case, but is only limited to view by certain parties who are involved in this litigation. All right. The defendant was who pleaded guilty last month here to this Class A misdemeanor. Mr. Savoy went through the plea process, admitted that he was guilty of the crime of assault, Class A misdemeanor assault, lesser included assault from the robbery indictment. And the court found that even though there was sufficient evidence supporting finding the defendant guilty, the court deemed it was the best interests of all concerned, most importantly, the defendant, that he would be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation. I did not find you guilty, and this court has deferred any finding of guilt so long as you follow the terms and conditions of probation, which are going to be amended here. There were terms that I think I don't have a copy of them, but I believe the probation office prepared a litany of terms in an order of probation or not.
Based on the
There we
pre-sentence
go.
report?
There you go. Yeah.
Or the conditions?
Okay. There was a set of terms of probation that you were reviewed with and that you signed your signature back when you entered this plea, and we placed you on probation last month. I have reviewed the post-sentence report. This court has also reviewed the video of this event that I heard had worked its way around in the public. I had never seen it. I had not heard about it, but then I found out from this case that there was a video that was, I guess it was made by some other student. And to say it's disturbing would be an understatement. It is most disturbing.
You too. Happy holidays. Thanks for stopping by, man. I really appreciate it.
It is one thing is certain.
Thank you.
In schools, it is no place for bullying. It is no place for assaults. It is no place for the threatening of other students or anyone else involved in this. The key ideals for an education system like what BISD is striving to obtain is not only a safe environment for the students, which is necessary, but an opportunity to learn without fear. And not the least of which is you ought to be able to go to the restroom without being accosted. That's a place for private natural events to occur that are necessary for humans, but not to have to endure what I saw in that video. Now, the post-sentence report states this. And this is from the police, the BISD police officials who investigated the case and who showed up quickly afterwards. A couple of things that, several things that disturb me most about all of this. And it defies logic that this is the kind of atmosphere that is at any school, but it can happen. And when it occurs, it is going to be dealt with severely. According to the complainant, you, who were with some others, the complainant was in the restroom, taking care of his business, as it were. And you came in, demanded his cell phone and other items in his possession, which is theft. And when you force that, it's called robbery, which is a second-degree felony, which carries with it up to 20 years in prison. The victim stated he didn't have anything on him, and Then you attempted to raffle through his pockets of the shorts he had on to see what he had on him. Then apparently he tried to protect himself and grabbed at you for what you were doing. And you stated, "Don't touch me. Let's fight." Then you pushed him to the ground and beat him severely. I saw the video from the district attorney's office. How many times did you strike him? And all he was doing was in a complete defensive position. He had you around your knee. He was holding one knee like this, trying to defend himself from your blows because he was on his knees. How many times did you strike him in the head area and the upper body? How many?
All right.
How many?
I don't.
You take a number.
I bet you the judge knows.
13. 13 solid shots to the head area.
Sorry, I was making coffee.
Then he falls away from you on the ground, laying defenseless. What did you do to that defenseless kid then? You kicked him in the head like you were kicking a 50-yard field goal. And then what did you do? Left him. And the others with you. So, police were called. And the nurse got there. It was very serious. They were attending to his lacerations. He had injury to his face that was bleeding. They looked for you. You're supposed to be in school, in class. You were there, but you hid out for 3 periods while they searched the campus. You were hiding out.
Jeez.
Why would you hide? Unless that biblical proverb, guilty people flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous stand bold as a lion. That's in the Bible. You fled and you hid. And somebody had to take care of this mess with this kid. Oh.
But you're going to get some
Yeah.
time.
Your version, in all fairness, you got a chance to be heard. And you said, I saw smoke coming from, I go into the restrooms, saw smoke coming. Several people were in there. It was taking them a while to come out. So I said, can you hurry the F word up? I mean, aren't they teaching you English I know they are. And that's no way to speak. I mean, I know people use that word, but it's obscene. It's not right. It's not a showing of intelligence.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be learning,
But we all
not
do.
using vulgarity in your conversation, but no. So you say this guy comes out, grabs my shirt for no particular reason. Hey, the kid's nowhere near your size. And he was attacking you?
Yeah, you shake.
Okay. Okay. For no particular reason, he attacked you. You say, I blacked out. All right. Well, the fact of the matter is there's absolutely no comparison in size. There is no comparison with what I saw being done. You could have stopped after the first, if you felt like your life was threatened by someone who was holding your knee, holding or grabbing your knee, trying to defend themselves. After once or twice striking him, you could have stopped because he wasn't striking any. He wasn't putting up a fight at all. I mean, it's clear, and everybody's seen it apparently, but me. I'm not a social media person, so but But I've heard, oh, everybody's seen it. That's the most atrocious thing we've ever seen. It is terrible to see. It frightens people that they are going to be sending their children to a school where this kind of hostility takes place. Well, BISD is concerned about that. And they're going to, I know those people to strive to be responsible people to make a safe learning environment for the kids there. But you're working against, people like you work against that. You didn't have to strike him 13 times. And then while he is laying defenseless, you kick him in the head. He was no threat to you at all from at any point in time I saw when I counted the 13 blows. It was like you're just an angry person who just wants to hurt other people. But I can guarantee you this, that there was nothing I saw that was a threat. And even if this were, he wasn't a threat. Apparently nothing appeared to be threatening during the 13 blows that you were striking, and you were, you're so much taller, bigger than him. And you were rearing back and throwing haymakers. I've been around. We all grew up in school, and you had bullies and people who would pick on little kids, and that's not right. And really, there was no threat. If he was ever a threat, according to you, there was no threat during the 13 blows and the kick to the head that I saw. It's very disturbing. You're lucky. He's lucky. I mean, you kick somebody in the head who's defenseless like that. I've had situations in here. Those people are in comas, and they're handicapped the rest of their life sometimes by blood clots to the head. I mean, it's a serious thing, but you knew that. That's why you hid out for 3 periods. Why would you hide out if he was the one who was the aggressor, who was the one who was wrong? Why would you? Because you knew you had fouled up. Well, one of the terms and conditions of probation that we're going to make sure is this anger management, because I want to make sure that this blackout doesn't occur when, let's say, somebody, cuts you off in traffic or looks at you in public in a way that you feel like is threatening, and that you need to strike them 13 times and kick them. That's got to be controlled.
I mean, I can't say that. Actually, I can't say that. I've been in fights when I was younger where you don't remember the fight really, because you're just so much adrenaline and you're just fighting, and and then afterwards you're just like, oh, what happened? So I shouldn't say that, but it just depends on how many fights he's been in his young age. If he kind of like blacked out per se. Yeah, it's just one of those things. But I remember when I first went to federal prison and I got in a few fights, my first few fights, I lost the first couple, and then this guy came up to me on the yard, man. He's like, man, you would have had that guy if you just would have opened your eyes. He said your eyes were closed the whole time. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And then, man, once I kept my eyes open, I didn't lose too many after that. Not that I was in like a million fights or anything, but and you're living with a bunch of men and things, and even it could be your friend over a stamp or a piece of bread. If you feel slighted or disrespected, or I seen a guy get killed over a stamp. So it was a crazy thing. And one of my lives, I will talk more about my history. I talked a little bit about my history in this one, in the beginning of this live. So if you can go back and check that out. It's just, it's just one of those things, you know. But then, you know, we grow up, we learn from our mistakes, hopefully, and we stay clean and we find some kind of spirituality that makes us want to come from a place of love, and you just never get in a fight again. It's just one of those things. And, you know, or our higher power, which I choose to call God, you know, they keep those negative things away from us with no effort of our own. It's just kind of magical how that happens. And in my case, a miracle. So, all right, I can watch some more of this. If I can hit the right button, because my mouse is.
These are normal events in life. Every day, there are going to be people who are polite, and some people can be rude, or you can perceive it as rude. But you don't strike them 13 times and then kick them in the head. I think you know that, though. I think I'm talking to you about something that you already are aware of. You have, you're no longer at Westbrook, right?
No, sir.
You moved to another school district. Maybe that's a better thing to start over. Are you doing well in your grades?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What grade level are you in?
12.
You're a senior.
Yes, sir.
No one can see that video without feeling the hair raise on their head. And having a child at a school, and like BISD or any other school, and seeing a child be beaten like that unmercifully, they cannot feel comfortable about having their child in the school. And that's what happens when this occurs. Then people begin to lose confidence. I don't want that. We have issues we're dealing with, and I think the school district is most concerned about the safety of their children so that they can have a safe learning environment. And I'm going to help them with that regard. No one comes into this court and beats mercifully a human being like that and then kicks them in the head without going to jail. You're going to go to jail. I can put you in jail for up to 30 days. And that's what I'm going to order. Now, if it were me, I'd be upset about that. You don't seem too concerned. Have you ever been in jail before?
Yes, sir.
You have. Okay. Well, no wonder.
That's what
no wonder. It's supposed to be punishment, I guess. I hope it's considered as punishment. I would like it to people to think, oh, I don't want to go to jail, so I'm going to certainly conform my conduct to the law and peaceful coexistence with others. When were we in juvenile facilities before? Okay. I don't have that information before me, but people who are in front of me with an assault case, and I think this is reasonable and normal for all judges to see what we see in an unmerciful beating to another person who's a young kid who's trying to go to school. That can't be tolerated at all, number one. And number two, it is going to have some kind of punishment, which includes confinement. You're going to be sentenced. I can't sentence any Class A misdemeanor like this to up to 30 days confinement in jail. I have talked to the sheriff, and there is a place in the jail where 17-year-olds are placed, which are away from the other adult population. And you are going to be sentenced then as a term of probation, to 30 days confinement in the county jail. And anyone else who beats unmercifully a student in trying to go to school and get an education, I'm going to stand up for peace and a learning environment that's safe. You understand? And now, you go to school during the day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, going to jail for 30 days would kind of disrupt that ability to graduate, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can
Judge, also, he's
I
in
can-
Houston. He's in
Yeah,
school.
well,
in Houston,
that's,
just so the court-
all of those are decisions that are made by others, not me. My decisions are based upon the circumstances of this case, and maybe that's a good thing that you have moved to another school. But hopefully you have learned a valuable lesson from this, that assaults like this, unmerciful, you defend yourself, but you don't beat somebody. I mean, this is amazing and miraculous that the other person was not seriously injured. I'll do weekend time if that's what you are asking or not. I don't know. I would think that would be what somebody would probably want who's going to school during the weekday, because how is he going to, if he does 30 days, that's 4 weeks in a senior year, that's going to probably cause him to miss graduation. And, or do you care about an education? Is that something that's important to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's got to be, you got to take your part in being peaceful and law abiding so others can share the education as well as you. Is that what y'all are asking for? That he do it in on weekends so that he can go to school during the week? Or
Judge,
not?
first, let me note that, Judge, I prepared him for this. I've discussed it with him. And so that's part of his reaction is this isn't being a total surprise to him. He knows that this was an option. So that's maybe why his reaction is not such like, that.
And that's why I know a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about lawyers, but that's why I love lawyers. And at least the ones I see in this courtroom and in Judge DeSanto's courtroom. And these aren't paid lawyers mostly. These are public defenders. I mean, no, they're paid, but not paid by the client, not retained by the client. And these dudes will throw themselves on a grenade for their clients, you know. And I know that wasn't a huge one, and I've talked about this before, and I know Mike talks about it on Law Talk with Mike. It's just then those lawyers just step up, you know, and just, you know, they explain away, you know, things for their client. And like I said, this isn't a huge thing, and it's true, it's probably did happen, but I promise you, even if that lawyer hadn't had that conversation with his client that he might be going to jail today, I promise you he would have said the same exact thing, just to kind of soften that blow with the judge a little bit. And that's why these lawyers are badass.
Being said,
she's not going to go
far. Give
there.
me a chance to talk to him. Because the holidays are coming up, so he has some time there. I don't know if he wants to do it every weekend, or how, if the court has given us an option, I would like to talk to him to find out what he, so he can graduate.
I will allow y'all to
give us a few minutes
to figure out what you would wish, but it's going to be some confinement. And I wouldn't want to be there 1 minute. I have to go to the jail a lot, and I wouldn't want to be incarcerated for 1 minute, but this is necessary under,
and he's not,
this is not set an example for you and for anyone else. The schools, we're going to apply punishment to help this education system be safe for all people. I mean, this is a blessing. I mean, it's the key to success, and everyone needs a safe environment so that they can focus on their studies. Okay. Let me know.
Your Honor, if
Yes,
I can also add, Mr. Savoy is also employed at Popeyes. So he is going to school and working. So if you are ordering the jail sanction, then I would ask the court to consider to allow him at least a little bit of time to notify his employer as well as the school.
I don't have a problem with that as well. But this is going to begin in January. I'll give you a few weeks to figure it out, but I want an answer like by January 10th. And so this confinement condition
Linda Sue thinks that I have a mental problem.
If it's going to be weekends or any other way.
I do have a mental problem for sure.
You want to know?
For sure.
As soon as possible.
And I think
I'm guessing because of the lawyer.
Yeah,
But here's the deal. Like I've been in the system and I haven't always had great lawyers. So when I do see a lawyer do that, I commend them. Just keeping it real. But yes, for sure, I do have a mental problem. Hands down, 100%. I have a LawTube channel. So yeah, I'm definitely mental. I could be doing meditation, no face YouTube channels and just tattooing more.
I mean, I don't know if he wants to, nobody wants to go to jail, but I mean, but that might be a chance for him to get some of that time taken care of on Christmas break. So if you'll let me talk.
Okay. Thank you. And you can
Yes,
get an amended order
We'll have
on
it right
that
here.
to reflect that as a condition.
The only,
Good work.
I don't know what I have here. I guess we'll just go ahead and watch it. I have more coffee in my cup, so.
Okay, if y'all talked about.
Oh, this is the cat. Oh, just talking about his jail time.
Work with this additional order of confinement, 30 days. Yeah.
We did, Your Honor, and we appreciate the court being understanding regarding the time. I think he said he wants to turn himself in January and do the weekend. Like you.
Okay, you have to report on or before 6:00 p.m. every Friday. They will release you at 6:00 p.m. on Sunday. You will be given credit for 2 days each weekend. So
What's starting what day?
what do y'all want? It's y'all's call.
Okay. The 10th, whatever the week is, Friday is around January 10th, I think is what.
Friday is the 12th. Graduation.
Friday is the 12th. There's January 12th is Friday.
Can you imagine going to school all week and then
Mr. Savoy,
having
this
turn
will
yourself into
begin
jail on Fridays? That
on
would suck.
January 12th, Friday.
That would suck.
And you will begin those days of confinement, and those will be 15 successive weekends, unless the court is convinced that those should be shortened for good cause. Okay. Another condition of probation is make good grades and attend class, and do not pick fights. Defend yourself if necessary, always, if necessary. But there's a point where when you are defending yourself and the other person is no longer a threat. And if under your story here, if I don't, it's hard to believe the story, but even under your version, once he is completely not a threat to you and is just hanging on for literally dear life to your knee, and then he falls to the ground, that last kick in the head was that's what's really stirs anyone to see. That's a very dangerous thing to see. It's terrible. And we're all lucky, you especially, that there wasn't serious injury because to him, because that would have been the most serious event. That would have been most serious for you. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. That is all. Then we're, is there anything else we need? We are in recess.
Your
Thank
Honor,
you.
can you advise the date again? I'm sorry. And we write it on.
12, January 12th. All right.
Oh, that's not.
No, I'll send it.
The hard part's getting used to 2024. Writing that date. Here is this file. Thank you, Ellie.
You know, it's crazy.
Did you find it?
Judge Stevens had a kid on the other day, and he was just a kid. And he was in school, and he actually, as part of his probation, was that he was to he had to make the honor roll system. Now, I'm sure he won't violate him if he doesn't make the honor roll, but it was a nice little fire under his butt, you know. And yeah, it just shows he's just in the Christmas spirit, man. He's been not as harsh lately, the past week or two, I guess I would say. And he's even mentioned being in the Christmas spirit, how he feels like he's in a better mood lately. So that's pretty dope. We'll watch one more case, and then
Are you, Mr. Are you
time with mine?
Okay, we are in recess. Van Moore, right?
We're ready.
23 CR 23rd. Here is, hey,
Yes, it's okay.
Is this the tall, skinny black guy?
thank you, sir. Van Moore, 23 CR 23rd.
I hope it is. I can't remember. I edited these to play live. But I hope
Hey,
this is
I have
good.
something about admitting somebody in the waiting room. Who's that?
I don't know who that
Let's
is.
see. I'm gonna just take a wild shot at admit.
Look at that face. Oh man, I have a short on oh man. I'm gonna play that, or I can't play it. No shit. I have a short that is super cool. Yeah, you know what? While we're watching this next one, I'm gonna see if I can find it and then play it. It's just of Judge Stevens. And I put some funny music to the background, but it's just of him. I just caught him at a crazy moment when it was just him on the Zoom and there was no defendants and none of the courtroom cameras are up. I'm gonna find that while we watch this next one. I hope I can find it.
I'm not ready.
Oh no, shit! It's on my phone.
Yep. And where is this?
My phone's dead right now.
Which case?
Shit, it's in the iCloud though.
That's Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Sheriff?
We're gonna get to you in just a minute. Stand by. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Are you in Houston?
I'm in Harris County, Texas, and my office is in Porter.
And where?
Porter,
In-
Texas.
Yeah. Where's your office?
My office is in Porter, Texas, Porter.
Porter. Yeah.
Here's for more. Please raise your right hand. Swear or
Isn't that near? That's near Montgomery County, isn't it?
help you God.
Yes.
It's in Montgomery County.
Place it down on the box flat right there.
Good job. I would have missed
Do it
that.
One more time. One more time.
I was thinking South Texas.
He's in the woods. It's woodsy up there.
I remember years ago, some guy that lived up there called himself that he owned the country of Porter. Remember that?
No.
Long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Porter is.
But I mean, he would call it.
Everybody's discovered
Oh,
Porter
man.
now. So a lot of people. All right. In Van Moore's case, that's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you were here with Mr. Dusler. Your attorney does the defendant. We have a formal reading of the indictment and arraignment here. Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
And here he's charged
Oh, I do have
with a third-degree felony of
have
continuous
it. I
violence
do
against
have
the
it.
family. That's not good,
Heck
especially
yeah.
during the Christmas season. And then
We're gonna
you
watch
got-
that real quick. Oh, it's without the music though. Oh, I gotta find the one with the music. It's this fool right here, huh? He's crazy. He's super crazy. Yeah, anyway. I love that. Here, we'll get back to this.
third out of this court back in 97.
The
before
music
I
was
even
dope though.
born,
It was like
almost.
some Mexican music.
And that means that you're looking
Some
at
mariachi music.
second-degree felony punishment up to 20 years in prison if we went on all of these. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You got a third-degree felony, a prior conviction enhances it to a second-degree felony. You understand?
Yes, sir.
What are we going to do in this case?
Proceeding on count one, the agreement is 10 years, probated for 10 years, $500 fine.
Can I do that on continuous violence against families?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been in jail, sir?
Ooh, this is a good one.
45, 50 days.
Mm-hmm. But it's not going to end that quickly with me on something like this. All right. Does the defendant again waive a formal reading of this indictment in paragraph 1 here, this allegation 1? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir, we can.
In summary, this allegation alleges that on or about October 28, 2023 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the 3rd-degree felony of continuous violence against families. In that on or about October 27th, I guess, of 2023. It doesn't show a date of year, but it's inferred it must be in the same, within the same time frame of the allegation of on or about October 28, 2023, that you struck the victim about the head and body with your hands and caused serious bodily injury. Who the victim was a member of your household. And
dang it, I can't find it, the one with the music.
You had more than one such act within 12 months or less in duration, which causes it to be a continuous violence against the family. Do you understand what you're charged with here?
Yes, sir.
This is a 3rd-degree felony if convicted, which means you face a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Agreement's been reached where you would be sentenced to 10 years in prison, which you're not eligible to get probation for here in front of a jury. Do you understand? Because of your prior convictions, you went before a jury and were convicted, you don't get probation.
Oh,
You
please
are
hit the
allowed
like button
in front of
too,
this court by
just to help me
pleading
with the
guilty
algorithm
to be
and
placed
getting
on probation
this video out there. I
for
know
10
there's only
years if I sentenced you
2
up to
people
10
watching
years
right
in
now, but if
prison,
you could hit
and
the like
this would
button,
be a
I'd
fine of
dope, and
$500
maybe
as
even
well.
share it.
Is that
You
your
know,
understanding of the agreement?
share it on Facebook,
If I
or
follow
just
this
share it
agreement, you have no right
on
of appeal of your
Messenger
case.
or
Do you understand?
messages.
How do you
That'd be
plead
cool.
to this 3rd-degree felony
It
charging
just
you
helps
with
the algorithm
continuous
keep the video out
violence
there.
against the family?
I'm going to be
Guilty or not guilty?
changing some tags on it and
Are
stuff
you
like that. to try
pleading
to get it out
guilty
there.
of voluntarily, that is on your own free will?
Oh, and the reason why the initial working title was called The Shite Show was because in the beginning of the live, I talked about my dealings with YouTube the past couple of days and getting monetized, and I deleted my channel and lost everything and had a meltdown. Almost, really, if I'm honest, brought me to tears because I didn't know if I was gonna like redo everything. But there's this handy dandy little undo thing on the Google account where you can find, because I created it as a brand, I was able to reinstate it anyway.
And because you are guilty. I show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document voluntarily? Did you understand it? Discuss it with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Are the contents true and correct? State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence.
No objection.
Without objection admitted. Among other things, this states you were mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you, or you've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the right to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses, and you were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true, so help you God. Do you understand? Is all of that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes.
Thanks for stopping by. I'm watching too. The people that are here watching live, I really appreciate it. I'm going to start doing a live every day now because of the way that YouTube is monetizing court stuff. It'll just be easier to give the content more value instead of having all the bells and whistles and words and all
That's terrible, to say the least. Well, you made a holy hell out of somebody's life here. Are you on drugs or something? This is the way you normally act, sir? This is the way you act?
Good question. Yeah.
No, I know. I'm reading this report.
Yeah, trick question.
Let's see.
Let's hear it, Judge. Let's hear it. Let's hear the report.
First, this is 3 assaults within a matter of hours. You knocked the lady out of the chair she was sitting in when you used the closed fist, struck her in the head and kicked her in the buttocks, and then ran from the scene before the police could get there. Then, a little later on, you met up with her again, threw her to the ground, put your knees into her side, and shoved her into a wall, causing a hole in the wall to occur. Then you probably left the scene. Then shortly after that, you showed up again a third time and snatched a phone out of her hand, struck her in the ribs with the closed fist, threw her to the ground, causing pain. And then the police showed up finally. And while you were there this time, and you were taken into custody. Well, that's kind of disturbing behavior, wouldn't you say?
Just a little bit.
All right. Anything else to add by anybody?
No.
If not, I'm going to find in this case you have pleaded guilty voluntarily. You were mentally competent to do so. You understand the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do I have I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt? Do we have to? And I'm following this agreement. You were hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. Fines $500. We put 1,000.
Okay.
That's inflation.
I'll fix that.
That's just moving up fast. You're sentenced to 10 years in prison. That is suspended. You were placed on regular probation for 10 years. You must pay a fine of $500. There will be terms and conditions of probation which are necessary for you to successfully complete this probation. You're on thin ice with this behavior and your criminal history. Do you understand?
Yeah, man, I usually see him do, like, especially if he has a criminal history, like he won't give anyone probation for something violent like that. Especially, I mean, the woman was knocked out of the wheelchair. Like, so he's definitely, or, you know, who knows all the circumstances though, but there had to have been something extenuating. And because usually he'll be like, no, you've got a criminal history. You've been to jail. It just keeps getting worse from here. You don't go backwards and get probation or get treatment, or, well, no, I've seen him do treatment, but it's usually if you did 2 years before, or even if you did 60 days before, you're doing 90, or you're doing 6 months. So it's kind of a gift that he just got for that crime, for sure, coming from Stevens.
And so one of the things we're going to have to do is this batterers intervention program, which is a great program that is directed by Family Services here in Beaumont. You must attend and complete that. There will be other terms and conditions of probation which are normal and customary for this type of behavior. And this court is going to, there's a condition of probation which I'm going to order, which is 180 days in the county jail. I'm going to do what I can to make sure that they spend Christmas without you. You are a living hell.
Oh,
3 separate assaults to this lady, 3 separate assaults, and then you ran away like a scared little girl each time before the police arrived. I'm going to give them a chance to at least enjoy Christmas with some peace.
Okay.
You are the Grinch.
The Grinch.
That's all.
That was dope.
You come back before me, and I'll remember this set of circumstances, because this is anti-Christmas behavior. And 10 years isn't enough for the holy hell you've had to place over your quote family. You are disruptive of the family union.
Yeah, man.
You are
George.
a violent, angry person who needs a long time out. Maybe you can think about the blessings that you have that you're ruining, not only yourself, but others that have to endure your victimization. This is not right. So that is the ruling of the court. That is all. Raul Rebelar,
He just advised me this morning
Okay,
that his
well,
family's in the process of hiring.
Man,
Mr.
I've been
Kimber.
on for 2 hours. So I guess, yeah, it's getting dark out behind me. You can see it was light out, like really light out when I started. So, man, thank you guys for coming out. The people that have come and gone and checked me out today. I'm going to be trying to stream every day now due to some monetization things. I'm going to try to talk to some other creators, see what they're doing. I just want to create, I just want to make more, give this stuff more value, even if it's just my little commentary of that I have that comes from the other side of the bench. Not from the law side, but from the as being a defendant all those years ago. And you know, I'm blessed now to not have to be a defendant, and I want to share that too, and my journey on how that all became or came to fruition, how I don't have to go to jail anymore, and I don't have to commit crimes to pay for habits and or just because for the adrenaline rush of the crime, because I mean that was a lot of it too. So I have a lot to say about a lot of these matters, and over the next year I'll be saying a lot. So I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I'm going to try to stream on Christmas Eve, but I'm sure my family will not be having any of that, but I sure am going to try. Maybe they'll fall asleep early and I'll sneak a late night Christmas Eve one in, and I'll share a Christmas story that I have. So if you subscribe, like, and hit the notification button, you'll get a notification that I'm going live, and I will share some stories with you. And I have a pretty funny Christmas story. I'll just give you a preview of it. It's close to Christmas. There's booty shorts involved that I was wearing, a gun, and a me house sitting for somebody, and them coming home early. So I'll just leave it at that and be sure to try to catch that story because it's going to be pretty good. Hey, how's it going, Dr. Logistic? I appreciate you stopping in, man. For real, for real. I appreciate it. I'm just coming to the end of the stream, but I appreciate everyone who came by. I mean, it wasn't a lot. I think I never had more than 3 people at a time. People kind of came and gone, but try to stay tuned for my Christmas story tomorrow. I gave you a little preview of what it's going to be. Back when the battle days when I was not on good graces with the law and my family and other things, but all that has changed. And that's an awesome story how that all happened too. So, all right. Merry Christmas, everyone. I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for coming out. I truly appreciate it and am blessed to have somewhere to share these things with and to get to babble a little bit. All right. I appreciate it.